wanted to get like your full recap as well as your thoughts on this potential juror that came out, whether you think that's legit or not, and your thoughts on that. But anyways, so you're still up in DC?
I am. I'm still here. I was reporting for a few days. I was gonna wait until I heard that Shanley was interviewing Elaine down at court. I figured maybe I would stop in, but then that was canceled. So I'll probably go back soon now that it's officially over. Yeah.
Was there any word on why Elaine canceled on Shanley? I was joking that that's probably the first time Shanley's been stood up in her life, but
Yeah, right. Usually the other way around for her. Yeah, no, I think from what she said, Elaine had other court obligations. I don't know if I totally believe that.
I was gonna say, do you really believe that?
I don't. I saw it was circulating on social media that they were having a meeting at the courthouse, and maybe Elaine was like, you know what, this is too public. I'm not going to do it. Or maybe Shanley, I have to say, has been a really unbiased source. I sit next to her a lot during the trial, and I'm sure there's a lot she can't say on court TV, but she's not ignorant to what's going on. She definitely sees like all the evidence and the shenanigans, and I think maybe she's been trying to show that more on social media and stuff and engage with people, and maybe Elaine wants to be like more Good Morning America and Today Show. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that about Shanley real quick. I mean, because she's been pretty, it seems pretty straightforward. I guess the thing is with her that's kind of awkward is she's in this weird area between mainstream media and social media, where she's kind of started out dealing with it much like mainstream media, and then she's realized, okay, we need to bring this thing onto social media more. She started taking from what you guys are doing, right? The other folks that were in court, and posting more juror reports, more juror information. Now, she did have a couple misses. She did miss on the Amber Heard's team calling Johnny Depp as a witness thing. She had posted that. The timing of that was completely off, and also just they didn't call him. It was actually Johnny's team that ended up calling him back to the stand. And I believe there was one other whiff she had, but other than that, it seems like she was pretty generally okay with the reporting.
Yeah, and not I guess for my followers who do like to call me a simp sometimes, I'm not going to.
No, let me just say. Okay, hold on. Let me say this real quick, though, James. They're always going to call you a simp, no matter what you do. Literally, no matter what you do, they're going to call you a simp. Like literally, if you have a woman on your show, you get simps in the chat. In fact, guys, can I get S's in the chat for simps out there around the world? Yes. Let's see how easy it is. It's going to happen.
So then I'll just own it. I'm simping for Shanley. I will say, I think with the Johnny Depp calling to the stand, I think that was actually a move on Amber's team to keep Johnny guessing, because Shanley really did. She would tell me privately. Everyone's saying, I know I'm a simp. Yeah. She told me privately that he was going to be testifying, from Amber's side. They told her specifically. So I think they were telling her so that she would release it publicly, and then Johnny would be on edge every day, because one of the last days that the last week, actually, in the beginning of the day, Camille said to the judge, she said, are we going to get a day that he's actually going to testify? Because this isn't fair for them to keep saying it and then not bringing him. So I will give her a little bit of benefit of the doubt there. Other stuff, go ahead. She's bound to some corporate things, so I'm sure she doesn't get everything right.
I mean, about Elaine specifically bailing. I mean, I just gotta say, you read the articles, right, James? You read the articles you saw the Today Show, and you saw the backlash from her going on the Today Show, right? I think that had to be part of it. I'm sorry. I mean, there's no way that she didn't see that immediately, receive some backlash from it, and frankly, I wouldn't be surprised. And once again, I talked about this on my channel. I'm not encouraging anybody to do this, right? I think that the duty to report when you're a lawyer, you do have a duty to report unethical behavior, but I think it's when you know, not when you think. But I think she may have received some bar complaints if I was thinking about this, just in general, because the form is online and people can submit them. So I think she's probably pretty tied up. So I can't blame Elaine for canceling. I think honestly, if I were Elaine, I would lay low right now. I think the Today Show thing was not a good look for her. And, frankly, I'm not sure whether she's even going to be on the appeal team I'm not sure whether that's even clear from any of the record or any of the evidence we have, because if there is an appeal, right, because it's not guaranteed, but if there is an appeal, usually different counsel handles that. And I don't think she indicated that she definitely was going to be on that team.
Interesting. Then why would she go out and be basically running PR for Amber? It makes no sense to me. I mean, that entire segment that she did, I guess, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer myself, but
I have one theory, James. Here's my theory. See what you think about this.
Yeah.
Her current PR manager is David Shane. And I think you're shaking your head because you know about David Shane, right, James? Yes. So I think David Shane can't go anywhere publicly and can't speak on behalf of Amber because of what he's accused of right now. And because of that, and because he's still her PR manager, they had to send some other proxy, and the most neutral proxy seemed to be Elaine. But I think they were ignoring the fact that she was just already reviled. I even think sending Rottenborn would have been better for the Today Show.
Yeah, probably. Or some of the lesser lawyers. I mean, just she's
the
so
the
case, and then to go out and say those things, and it retracts from all the seriousness that any credibility that she had kind of just was thrown out the window because she's trashing the judge, she's trashing the jury. I mean, come on, like, you can't do that. I mean, and as much as David, he should not be out there either. I don't know what Amber and her team is thinking, because he should be fired and there should be someone else out there speaking on behalf of Amber, probably a woman, probably a young woman, like, someone who's not saying ridiculous things, but saying things that, maybe make sense. Like, okay, Amber, she's actually like going through a lot now. She's rehabilitating and doing things. I don't know, but whatever they're doing is bad. It's very bad.
Yeah, their strategy isn't working. It seemed to me like a double down strategy. And that's what it seems to me right now. But the problem is that they're really not getting maybe they are getting the backup, but nobody's buying it. It's not working for them. It's not winning them at all. I think their best strategy would be to lay low, to stay quiet, to let this die on its own, let the energy go out, because the momentum right now is all in Johnny's favor. So trying to swim against that is like fighting a rip current. You're not going to be able to win that. And clearly the victory of the day is Johnny's.
Yeah, and especially not by attacking people as well. Like, I don't know why the media and certain individuals always think that like attacking the group of people that you're trying to reach is a good way to like change their minds. But like calling these people names and like saying like, oh, this sets women back, when, I mean, I've been on a lot of the Twitter spaces and live streams and talking to people at court. 80% of the people that show up are women who have been through similar situations.
But they're misogynists. James, who have internalized their misogyny, and oh, by the way, they're racist, and they're bots. All of them. Yes,
they're always the istophobes, right? Everyone.
Yes. You're welcome. I mean, the fun thing is about this whole exercise is that I'm used to that happening with the type of topics that I cover, of people making those accusations. For example, right now, the funny thing is Disney is doing the whole thing with anybody who doesn't like the new Obi-Wan. You're an istophobe, and it's like, this is the new. For us, it's just another day on the internet, right? It's like, oh, internet people calling other internet people istophobes and everything else as a defense against any criticism. But a lot of people, it's the first time they're doing this, and frankly, I think that's why a lot of people are waking up and listening to people like you and everybody else, and they're so keyed in on this because they don't realize that this is what happens when you go against what a certain establishment wants you to accept, as the truth.
Yeah, and I've been saying that like a lot, this trial, when I go in the live streams, I talk about that because I saw coming into it, and that's sort of why I wanted to report on it. I'm very interested in different culture war issues, and there always seems to be like an establishment versus people kind of war going on, and they try to pit people against each other. And this was such a pivotal moment because, like, I mean, the followers that I've gained, some of them have like Ultra MAGA on their pages. Some of them have Biden on their pages. Some of them have Ukraine flags on their pages. And everyone has come together to be like, no, this is wrong. Like, we believe Depp is innocent, whatever. And then the media tries to paint it like, oh, no, everyone that supports Johnny Depp is like this, when it's not true. And I think a lot of people are waking up and they're like, wait, I'm not like, again, there's very progressive liberal Democrats who follow me about the Johnny Depp side, when the media says that, no, it's just right-wing people. And it's like, I think people are starting to see, okay, that it's not true. Like, I can support these causes and be on both sides of the political spectrum. So
regardless of what your politics are, we saw what we saw. Like we all saw it together. You're telling people to literally ignore what they saw, and that what they saw isn't true, and you're literally trying to gaslight them as if they hadn't absorbed any of it themselves. I guess they're assuming, which they do in a lot of cases, that nobody was watching the trial, that nobody actually saw the witness testimony or the actual, Amber speaking or the closing arguments. But the fact of the matter is, as we've seen, online and through LawTube and everywhere else streaming it, millions of people tuned in to watch this. This is the biggest thing. I mean, since OJ, and I would say it's bigger than OJ because social media has a wider reach than TV did back in that day.